The walk of shame soccer fans, lock in the red card. Usually it's a moment of high drama, a tactical foul, or a heated argument that changes the game. But sometimes a player earns an early shower for the most absurd reasons imaginable. We're talking about moments so stupid, so bizarre, and so funny that even the referee is struggling to keep a straight face. Red cards for the wrong reasons tonight. We aren't looking at the leg breakers or the goal line handballs. We're looking at the what were you thinking moments, from fighting with teammates to animals on the pitch, and the most legendary over celebrations in history. This is the top 10 most ridiculous red card moments in football. Let's see who's heading to the locker room early. The teammate tussle. We've all seen rivals fight, but how about fighting your own teammate? Remember Kieran Dyer and Lee Bowyer for Newcastle? They got so angry at each other, they started throwing punches in the middle of a match. The ref had no choice. He sent them both off. Imagine having to sit next to each other in the locker room after that. That's a long, silent bus ride home. The shirt-off blunder, the classic over-celebration. You score a last-minute winner, the adrenaline is pumping, and you rip your shirt off to show the world your six-pack. Only one problem, you already had a yellow card. The ref slowly walks over, holding the second yellow and the red, while the player realizes his mistake in real time. The goal counts, but the player is gone. It's the highest high and the lowest low in 5 seconds. The fake injury, gone wrong. We've seen players dive to get an opponent sent off, but sometimes it backfires spectacularly. A player rolls around like he's been shot, the ref looks at the replay or just uses common sense and decides the theater is worth a booking. When you're already on a yellow, that Oscar-winning performance becomes your exit ticket. There's nothing funnier than a player miraculously healing as soon as the red card comes out. The referee's accidental red. Sometimes the ref is the one having a bad day. We've seen referees accidentally drop their cards, or even worse, show them to the wrong person. There was a legendary moment where a ref sent off a player because his teammate committed the foul, and even after everyone pointed it out, he wouldn't change his mind. It's a not human level of stubbornness that makes the whole stadium erupt in laughter. The animal interference. What happens when a dog or a cat runs onto the pitch? Usually a player tries to help it off, but we've seen instances where a player gets too aggressive with a stray animal, or even kicks a ball at it, and the ref decides that's unsportsmanlike conduct. Getting sent off because you couldn't play nice with a golden retriever is a tough one to explain to the manager. The too honest moment. There are players who are so honest, they get themselves in trouble. A player tells the ref, "Yeah, I totally tripped him," thinking they're being a good sport. The ref appreciates the honesty and then pulls out the red card because it was a clear goal-scoring opportunity. Nice guys finish last, and in this case, they finish in the dressing room. The not human rage. Even the calmest machines of soccer have a breaking point. When a player who never fouls suddenly loses their mind and headbutts an opponent, like Zidane in 2006, it's shocking. But when it happens in a low-stakes Sunday League game over a throw-in, it's comedy. Watching a not human athlete turn into a raging toddler is a spectacle that never gets old. It's the ultimate glitch in the system. The bathroom break. Red. Believe it or not, players have been sent off for leaving the pitch without permission to use the bathroom. When nature calls, you can't just walk off into the tunnel while the ball is in play. The ref sees a missing player, realizes they went for a tactical break, and greets them with a card when they return. Talk about a shameful exit. The crowd interaction with the fans is a dangerous game. We've seen players get sent off for jumping into the stands to celebrate, or even worse, for arguing with a heckler. When a multi-millionaire athlete gets so triggered by a guy holding a hot dog that he gets sent off, the irony is delicious. The fan wins that battle every single time. The invisible foul. In the age of VAR, the ghost foul is the funniest. A player thinks they got away with a cheeky pinch or a trip when the ref wasn't looking. They're celebrating, high-fiving, and then The ref gets a signal in his ear. The look of, oh no, they saw that on the player's face is priceless. It's the revenge of the cameras, the I'm not leaving standoff. The funniest part of a red card is often the refusal to leave. The player stands there, arms crossed, shaking his head for 3 minutes. He's waiting for a miracle that isn't coming. Eventually, his own teammates have to drag him off like a kid who doesn't want to leave the playground. It turns a serious match into a hostage negotiation very quickly. The ball boy battle, one of the most ridiculous ways to get a red card, is fighting with a ball boy. We've seen it. A player is in a rush, the ball boy is taking his time, and the player tries to kick the ball out of his hands. Result, a red card for bullying. Getting sent off by a 14-year-old who's just doing his job is the ultimate ego death for a pro athlete. The accidental tackle. Sometimes physics is just mean. A player slips, slides 20 yards across wet grass, and takes out the referee by accident. Even though it wasn't intentional, if you take out the man in charge, in a time to charge, you might be heading for an early shower. It's a comedy of errors where gravity is the real villain. Watching the ref try to maintain his dignity while picking himself up off the floor is pure gold. The premature celebration. Finally, the players who celebrate a goal that gets disallowed and get a red card for the celebration. You take off your shirt, you jump the fence, you dance with the fans, and then you look back to see the linesman's flag up. Not only is the goal gone, but because of the yellow card rule, you're gone too. That is a level of bad luck that only soccer can provide. Take a look at this arc. LeBron James launches one from the logo, and the ball spends so much time in the air, you'd think it had its own flight plan. It hits the bottom of the nylon with a sound that every shooter dreams of. When the king is hitting from that distance, the game isn't just difficult for the defense, it's mathematically impossible. That is the ultimate cheat code in the modern NBA. You can see the shadow of the greats in these young stars. Watch the footwork on this step back. It's calculated, it's precise, and it's devastating. The defender knows exactly what's coming, but knowing it and stopping it are two very different things. When you combine that level of skill with the cold-blooded desire to end a game, you get a highlight that defines a generation. We talk about the scoring, but look at the verticality here. A 2-on-1 fast break should be a guaranteed bucket, but not when Wembanyama or Giannis is patrolling the paint. The timing to reject that shot without fouling. It reminds us that no matter how much money these players make, they can still make mistakes that leave us rolling on the floor, laughing. Soccer wouldn't be the same without these moments of pure, unscripted madness. Call to action. Which was the most ridiculous red card for you? Was it the teammate fight or the ball boy battle? Let us know in the comments, hit that like button, and subscribe for more hilarious sports moments. We'll see you at the next kickoff.